Ever wanted to make delicious ackee and saltfish at home but have never been able to? Let's go. Alright, let's first look at the ackee. This is how the ackee looks when you pick it from a tree. The ackee is enclosed in pods. We have to remove the ackee from the pods. A special note here, the ackee has to open by itself when it's on the tree, or even after picked, but do not force to open an ackee, right? Alright, so the ackee has been taken from the pods. You twist the tops off. This is what the ackee will look like when it's ready to be cooked. This is also what it looks like when it's bought in the can. Alright, let's prepare the saltfish. This is salted cod, with bones. We're gonna just give the saltfish a quick rinse. We're gonna take off some of the salt that's on the exterior. We don't want to put this into a pot to boil because the salt will remain in the water and not get boiled from it. Right, so we give a quick rinse and then we will put it in a pot to boil. Alright, let's give the ackee a rinse also. The ackee tends to have a wax-like film on the outside, so we just give that a quick rinse. We don't want to put the ackee directly into the water. It will just, the film will stay in the water, so we just rinse that off and then we add the clean fresh ackee to be boiled. We want to make sure that all the water is drained from the ackee, so you can use a strainer or a colander to get the excess water off. I will be boiling my saltfish and my ackee together, so I put the saltfish in first, let the water come to a boil, then I'll add the ackees. Alright, once we add the ackees, we cover the pot because we want the pot to come to a full roaring boil as soon as possible. If it takes too long for the water to boil, the ackees will tend to get soft. So this is what we're looking for. Once we get this roaring boil, it should be like about 10 to 15 minutes. You see, I'm just taking a fork to check if it's done, and this is done. The ackee will be removed from the flame and cooled and drained. Alright, now we're picking up the saltfish, as we call it in Jamaica. So we're just kind of crumbling the pieces. We have scraped off the skin, washed it off in a little fresh water, and removed any bones that are visible. So this is what we're looking for, a nice small pieces. Now for the final step, we add a little oil to our skillet. I'm using vegetable oil here, but this is very flexible. You can use whatever your preference in oil, coconut, olive oil, whatever oil you want is good here. So we want this to get to medium low heat, and then we're gonna add the veggies. Right here we have our vegetables. In Jamaica we call this seasoning. So we have thyme, tomato, scotch bonnet pepper, and scallions. So let's give our scallions a quick chop, and we're gonna add these to this skillet. Here you can add some sweet pepper, you know, bell pepper, whatever colors you want for a nice bright dish. You can add onions, you know, but these are the essentials to offer good flavor to the ackee, but you can add anything else you want. The veggies will cook for about 2 minutes. We do not want the fire to be too high because they'll start burning, and we don't want the fire too low, so you just give these a quick toss And then we're gonna add the saltfish that we have flaked. All right, let's add some powdered season. This one here is very questionable. A lot of people don't like to add powdered season to their ackee and saltfish, but I, for one, I like this. I think just a small amount, not a lot. We're not seasoning chicken here. A small pinch, a dash on the veggies while you saute them in the oil, to me is quite fine. Let's add our saltfish now. Please note that this is how you personalize your ackee and saltfish. You can add as little or as much saltfish as you want here. So it's just to your liking. So you can get carried away here. I think this, I bought 2 pounds, 2 dozen ackee. So this amount of saltfish here was good enough. We give this a quick toss and then we add our ackee. This is looking a little bit dry to me, so I'm going to add some more oil to the pan. Alright, well, this looks good to me. This is the amount of, if you look at it carefully, you want it to not be swimming in oil, but just to have the right amount of oil so that when you add the ackee, it will all just blend in. Alright, we have our ackee that has been properly drained. We're gonna just fold this in. Do not overwork the ackee here because we don't want to mash them out, as we say in Jamaica. So we're just gonna gently fold it in. I grew up seeing my mother and grandmother adding black pepper at this point to the pot, and I think if you skip this, it won't be the same. But if you think about it, there's already Scotch bonnet pepper, so there should be enough heat, but I think the addition of the black pepper is essential, so I do it. And there you have it. That's our completed ackee and saltfish meal. It would be delicious. This is delicious right now, right? So if you follow those procedures, you should get a good ackee and saltfish. So we are gonna cover and give this 5 to 10 minutes on low to just simmer. Here we have breadfruit. I am slicing the breadfruit. This breadfruit was already roasted and frozen, right? It was put in Ziploc bags and put in the freezer to be kept for further use. So you just, to thaw, you leave overnight in the refrigerator and then they're ready to be used in the morning. Alright, when frying breadfruits, you need a hot pan. I mean hot, like almost like fried chicken hot pan. You need enough oil in the pan to not cause the breadfruit to suck up, as we call it in Jamaica, which means to absorb the oil. The less oil you have in a pan when you're frying breadfruit, the breadfruit will see the need to absorb the oil. But if there is enough oil where the breadfruit is comfortable in doing its frying process, it will not suck up the oil. You'll just get a crisp exterior, and you'll be done. It won't be so absorbent in the oil. So this only takes a few minutes. We just want golden brown on both sides because the breadfruit is already cooked. It was roasted. So we're just doing basically a refry of the breadfruit because a lot of people don't like their breadfruit just roasted. They like it fried. So this is fried breadfruit. Can I point out that I'm using a dinner fork to turn my breadfruit? I am comfortable using a dinner fork for some things while I'm cooking. I am more able to, you know, to remove them from the pan. If I was using a thong, I wouldn't be working so effortlessly. So, you know, forgive that. Alright, here we have our fried breadfruits. They're on paper towel, drying off. So let's prepare our plate. We're gonna have a few pieces of the fried breadfruit with some ackee. And look what I have here. A friend of mine brought some avocados. They might not look the best, but still gonna be very delicious. So avocados, you know, when to the touch, you'll know when they're ready. So this one was perfectly ready to be used now. So I'm gonna cut a segment out, peel the skins off, and add it to my meal. And forgive me using my fingers to serve. This was my plate that I was preparing, and it was not a restaurant, so I was preparing my plate to eat my meal. Ackee and saltfish can be served with anything. You can eat ackee and saltfish with white rice, rice and peas, any preparation of rice that is. You can boil dumpling, yam, banana, plantains, pumpkin, anything you want to boil. This is the next day. I made some festival to accompany the ackee and saltfish, and I fried some ripe plantains. So you can see the versatility of the ackee.